I'm Jason Robinhood, and these are the stocks of the day for Monday, January 31st, 2022. Okay, so it is currently 5:33 p.m. here in Las Vegas, Monday, January 31st, 2022, and we're going to go over the stocks of the day. A great day in the stock market today. All three of the major indexes were positive. The Dow Jones was plus 406 points. The S&P 500 was plus 83 points. The Nasdaq 100 was plus 469 points. The VIX was down 10% today, trading at a 24 handle, and the 10-year is currently trading at a 1.786. Let's see where Bitcoin is at. Bitcoin is currently trading at $38,000. For the past week, Bitcoin is up 6%, and oh wow, but for the first month of this year, 2020, Bitcoin is actually down 20%. But you can see that wasn't the lows. The lows, Bitcoin was January 21st, and that's when Bitcoin was trading at a 35,000 handle, and it was down 26%. So Bitcoin has jumped about 7% in the past week, right? It's a little bit 6% in the past week. You probably want to keep an eye on Bitcoin. If it doesn't hit this 35,000 mark, you see it did not break 35,000, so you want to keep an eye on that 35,000 this year. Hopefully it does not retest that bottom. In this series, we go over the stocks of the day, the top 5 stocks from each of the 3 major indexes, and if we could find any stocks outside of the indexes. So we normally go over about 15 to 16 stocks. I did not find any stocks out of the indexes, so we're just going to go over 5 stocks, 5 of the best performing stocks from each of the major indexes. We're going to start with 5 stocks from the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones was plus 406 points today, and let's see how did we get there. First stock we're going to go over is ticker symbol BA, Boeing. As you can see, Boeing was up 5% in the trading day. It gave a little bit back in the after hours market. For the past year, Boeing is only up 2%, so it's underperforming the market. For the past 5 years, Boeing is up 20%, not the most return, but it's still positive. And if you're looking for the highs in Boeing, the highs in Boeing happened around March 1st, 2019. I think that's when I actually joined the stock market, maybe a month before. I think so. But yeah, that's a very long time ago. And that price was $440. And this stock is only trading at $199 since then. And Boeing does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the Dow Jones today was ticker symbol CRM, Salesforce. As you can see, Salesforce was up 4.73% in the trading day. It gave back 0.27% in the after hours market. Not a bad sign. It didn't give back too much in the after hours market. For the past year, this chart kind of looks like Boeing. Salesforce is actually only up 2%. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, the highs happened November 9th, a few months ago, like three months ago, not too long ago. But that price was $309. Currently trading at a $232 price. For the past 5 years, Salesforce is actually up almost 200%, 198.20% for the past 5 years. So if you're a long-term investor, you have made a lot of money in Salesforce. But Salesforce does not pay a dividend. Salesforce, unfortunately, does not pay a dividend. Next stocks for best performance stocks in the Dow Jones is ticker symbol DIS, Disney. Disney was up a little more than 3% today. It gave back a little bit in the after hours market, 0.33% in the after hours market. That's not a bad sign. It kept more than 1%. It didn't sell back more than 1% in the after hours market. Oh wow. Disney is actually down almost 16.59% in the past year. So this stock is clearly way underperforming the market, maybe by like 25%, right? The Dow Jones is up maybe about 10% in the past year. So this stock is almost like 25% under the market. And for the past 5 years, Disney is actually still positive. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, the highs happened around last year, around this time. So the next 3 months, you probably be, well, the next month, actually, excuse me. Next month, March 12th, you want to keep an eye on that. It seemed like the high was 197, right? And you can see around, well, it actually started trading way. But you can see in January of last year, basically around this date, it was 168. Right now, it's trading at 142. So you want to keep an eye on that. If Disney could break above this 197 mark this year, you're going to probably want to keep an eye on that 197 mark if you're an investor in Disney. But Disney does not pay a dividend? No, Disney does not pay a dividend. That's surprising. Next stock for best performance stocks in the Dow Jones is ticker symbol AAPL. Apple. As you can see, I have about 5 shares of Apple. Apple was up 2.61% today. Is giving back a little bit in the after hours market, 0.22% in the after hours market. That's okay. If you're looking for the highs in Apple, you can see the highs happened. Is that this year? The highs happened, yeah, this year. Okay, a few weeks ago, January 3rd, maybe the first trading day of the year, and that number was 182, and you can see we're only trading at 174 right now. So that's a really good sign. For the month, Apple's only down 1%. The Dow Jones was down 3% this month. So Apple's trading a pretty good sign. Apple's up 30% in the past year, so it's clearly outperforming the Dow Jones. I believe the Dow Jones is only, like I said, trading up maybe 10%, and it's down 3% this month. So Apple is clearly outperforming the market, and it's up almost 500% in its past 5 years, 476.86% for the past 5 years, almost close, about 24% more. This stock is gonna have over 500% return in the past 5 years. As you can see, Apple represents 33% of my portfolio, and Apple pays a 0.15% dividend. And the last stock we're going to go over for the best performing stocks in the Dow Jones today is ticker symbol INTC, Intel. As you can see, Intel was up a little more than 2% today, 2.28%. Gave half of a percent back in the after hours market. That's not a terrible sign, right? You can see a lot of stocks are giving back in the after hours market. A lot less trading, so that's okay. But this stock is actually down. Excuse me. This stock is actually down 13.19% in the past year, clearly underperforming the market. You can see the highs in this, at least in the past year, the highs happened around April 9th last year, and that price was $68, and this trade right now is $48, so $20 off of a high. For the past 5 years, Intel has given you a 28.70% return, so it's positive for the past 5 years. I mean, you can see it's really choppy. It goes up, then it goes down, it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. And now it's just trading back, So not really a chart for me. But Intel pays a 2.91% dividend. That's a pretty good dividend, almost 3% return. But the past 5 years, it's not really for me. Not for me. But yeah, so those were the 5 best performance stocks in the Dow Jones today. As I mentioned, the Dow Jones was up 406 points. The Dow Jones is currently trading at 35,131 points. We broke that 35,000 point mark today. That's a good sign. Hopefully, we don't give it back tomorrow. We're 131 points above that 35,000 mark. You want to keep an eye on that 35,000 mark. If we could stay above that, obviously we will be looking at 36,000. But this is the end of the month, so I do have to mention the Dow Jones is actually started the year off negative. The Dow Jones was actually negative 3.5% this month. So we're starting off the year negative. Keep an eye on that 3.5% so far negative return for the Dow Jones. We probably can get that back in a few days. Obviously, if we trade up 406 points, but volatile month started off this year and all three major indexes were negative. We will talk about the other indexes next. Next five stocks we're going to talk about are for the S&P 500. As I mentioned, the S&P 500 was plus 83 points today. Let's see how did we get there. First stock is ticker symbol ENPH. ENPH. Wow, ENPH was up 13.41% today. That's an extreme. Was this one of this is like an earnings report? Because that's a lot. 13.41% today. Gave a little bit back in the after hours market. Nothing too big. 0.33% in the after hours market. Oh my goodness, this stock is actually down. Hold on, this stock it gained 13% today, and it's still down 25% for the month. My God, it was down 34. Obviously, it was down, but it's still down 25% for the month. Not really a good sign. Oh my goodness, this stock is actually down 25% for the past year. That's not really a good sign. This stock has gone just straight. Oh my goodness, it's down 41% in the past 3 months. Wow. If you're looking for the highs in the stock, as you can see, it happened right before the downturn. This price was November 19th, 2021, last year, about 3 months ago. And that price was $267. This stock is currently trading at $140. Excuse me? Is it 8,000%? Oh, Jesus. This stock, what was the price of this stock? This stock was 86 cents in 2017, y'all. 86 cents. And it was, look, 2017, it was $1.36. I mean, it took years for this stock, but it kind of went in a straight line, if you think about it, right? It did go up. It didn't stay in the penny range for too long, right? 2008 was a big move for this stock. It's up 8,817.20% in the past 5 years. I don't think I've seen a chart that great. And then if you look at it, I mean, the highs, this stock was probably over how much? The highs, this stock was over. At the highs, it was 267, and that was plus 16,953.50%. So at the highs a few months ago, this stock was up 16,000% for the past 5 years. Kids, stay long in the stock market, please. Wow, that's an insane. Should I buy this stock? I'm probably too late. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the S&P 500 is ticker symbol SEDG. SEDG. As you can see, SolarEdge was up 12.33%. It did not give any of that back in the after hours market. That's a great sign. But for the past year, this stock is actually still down 19%. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, that happened last year, November 15th, and that price was $368 a share. This stock is currently trading at $238 a share. But SolarEdge looks exactly like ENPH. This stock is up 1,711.56% the past 5 years. At its highs, the stock is up hold on, did I miss it? At the highs, it was up 2,676.65%. Wow, that's an insane move. Both of these stocks, they both came from like penny. This stock wasn't a penny stock in the last 5 years, but 200. The question is, what we have to do is, right, we have to clearly see a stock that's $13 today that's going to be $200+ in the next 5 years. So that's the goal of this series, obviously. Let's see if SEDG pays a dividend. It does not pay a dividend, unfortunately, but it's still down 16% for the past month. So there's a lot of room to run in this stock, it looks like. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the S&P 500 is Netflix. Ticker symbol, oh, look at Netflix. Ticker symbol NFLX. NFLX. Netflix was up 11.13%. It's still gaining in the after hours market. That's a great sign. 0.71% for Netflix. Netflix, oh my goodness, Netflix is actually down 19%. You can see almost, I know a lot of people are not paying attention, but the tops in the market happened about 3 months ago. We've been selling off what basically looked like for the last 3 months. You can see Netflix highs was November 17th, and we've sold off with Netflix since then. Netflix was $691 dollars a share. Netflix currently trades at $430 a share. So this stock has taken an extreme haircut in the past 3 months. This stock is down almost 40%, 37%. Real buy signal. I mean, can't say buy signals, but real bear-ish correction territories. I think after a stock sells off 20%, it's in correction territory. This stock is double that, so I don't know what the term is that for that. I can't say rock bottom, but people have clearly been buying Netflix the last few days. For the month, it's down almost 30%, but for the week, it's up 13%. So you want to keep an eye on Netflix. If you're looking at the low where people seem to have been buying the stock, that number was $3.59. If it breaks that number, you probably have a lot to sell off. But if you are a Netflix investor, or if you're looking to get into the stock, do realize it stopped at $3.59, and it's still down 29% for the month. So there's a lot of room to run in Netflix. For the past 5 years, Netflix is, you could kind of say, only up 203%, right? Seems like it would be up a lot more than that, but the performance in the last 3 months has really hurt this stock. At the highs, the stock was up almost 400%. You can see, 386%. So there's still a lot of room to buy in Netflix. Didn't have the greatest earnings report, so you have to keep an eye on Netflix this year. Netflix, unfortunately, does not pay a dividend. Next stock is Tesla. Best performing stocks in the S&P 500 was Tesla today. As you can see, Tesla went parabolic. Tesla was up a little more than 11%, a little more than 10% today. 82%, I believe. Not the greatest with math. I'm just gonna assume. I think that's 10.82%. I can't count. For the past year, Tesla's up 15%. Not a terrible sign. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, that happened basically, as you can see, November. Something happened in late January. Is that a higher number? 111. Okay, so $1,200 a share was the high in Netflix. If you're looking for that price, that's still about $300 from where we're at right now. So there's, just to get back to, the highs, right? You're not talking about the higher highs. We're talking about just getting back to the highs of 3 months ago. I have about $300 to gain. As you can see, I have about half of a share of Tesla. Tesla represents 15% of my portfolio. So I may be adding to my position in Tesla, maybe getting a full share of Tesla. For the past 5 years, as you can see, Tesla is in a complete bull market. It's up 1,757.21%. So an extreme high. At the highs, this stock was up 2,319.69%. So as I said, there's a lot of room to run in Tesla. I'm a long-term investor in Tesla. $1,200 was the old high, so we're still about $300 a share from that number after 1,200. I have a price target of, way higher than probably 1,200. Hopefully we can get to that number this year. You can see in the past week, Tesla bottomed out at a pretty low number. We bottomed at $801, almost to the penny, right? So you want to keep an eye on that number if you're looking to get into Tesla. Will it break that $800 a share mark, or will we just head right back to $1,200? That's a very good question. As an investor, as a long-term investor, I'm assuming we're going to head closer to 1,200, and I will be adding to my position in Tesla. And the last stock we're going to go over for the best performance stocks in the S&P 500 is Xilinx, ticker symbol XLNX. Xilinx was up a little more than 9% today. For the past year, Xilinx is up 47%. I believe the S&P 500 was up about 20% last year. So Xilinx is basically doubling the S&P 500. So it's outperforming the entire market. And for the past 5 years, Xilinx is up 233.52%. So this is a long-term investor's dream type of a return. Almost 300% in the past 5 years, clearly over 230% in the past 5 years. That's a very good return. Maybe I should watch this stock. It pays a 0.21% dividend. Probably, I'll keep an eye on it. It's only down 8% for the month, so you want to keep an eye on that. Hopefully we can find some positive stocks this month. So as I mentioned, the S&P 500 was up 83 points. It currently trades at 4,515. That's a good number for us. Some bulls have the year-end target for the S&P 500 at 51 through 5,300. So the next, 400 points to get us to 5,000 is possible, and some people have us heading all the way up to 5,300. So you want to get in if you're looking for a good time to buy the S&P 500. Unfortunately, the S&P 500 did start off the year negative 5%. So we're starting off this year negative in the S&P 500, 5%. Not a great sign. But if the S&P 500 ends up, let's say S&P 500 ends up 10% this year, if you buy today, you will be up 15%. It's always a good time to buy the dip. And the last 5 stocks we're going to go over are for the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ 100 was plus 469 points today. Let's see what stocks got us there. First stock is ticker symbol PDD, Pinduo. Wow, Pinduo was up 12.80% today. It gained a tiny bit in the after-hours market. It did not give any of that back in the after-hours market. That's a good sign. For the past month, Pinduo is actually positive, right? The Dow Jones was negative 3%. S&P 500 was negative 5%. And the NASDAQ 100 is negative 10%. But Pinduo this year has started the year off positive, almost 3%. But this stock is coming off of a terrible year last year. This stock was down 65% the past year. That's disgusting. But for the past 5 years, if you've been a long-term shareholder in Pinduoduo, you are up 142.60%. Let's see if it pays a dividend. It does not pay a dividend. Pinduoduo does not pay a dividend. PDD. Next stock for the best performance stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is BIDU, Baidu. As you can see, Baidu was up a little more than 9% in the days trading. It gave back a tiny bit in the after-hours market. Nothing too noticeable. But the stock is actually down 33% in the past year. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, I mean, you're not going to find them anytime soon. But you want to keep an eye on that February 19th date. As you can see, the stock hit the highs and it basically sold off since then. The highs in the stock was $323 $39. It currently trades at $159. So I believe we're in February. We're basically into February starting tomorrow. The stock basically sold off basically from the date of February 19th, right? So the next 2 weeks in the stock you want to keep an eye on. Will it sell off? If it doesn't, you probably won't go down 65% this year. So you want to keep an eye on that. Oh my goodness. But for the past 5 years, if you were a long-term investor in Baidu, you're actually down 7%. Down 7%. Not a good sign for long-term investors in Pinduoduo, and it does not pay a dividend. That is not a trade for me. Not a trade for me. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is Splunk. Ticker symbol SPLK. Splunk was up 8.83%. It did not give any of that back in the after hours market. That's a great sign. This is not a good sign. This stock is actually down 25% in the past year. Let's see that November month. As you can see, so many stocks were up then. The highs in the stock came November 9th, 2021, and that was $173 about 3 months ago. It currently trades at $123. So you want to keep an eye on that $173. If you could get back to that highs, it's $50 away from the price we're trading right now. And for the past 5 years, Splunk is actually positive plus 118.28%. So long-term investors have been rewarded over 20% the past 5 years. That's not a bad sign. Average of over 20% the past 5 years, but Splunk does not pay a dividend. SPLK. Next stock we're going to go over for the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol, LCID, Lucid. Okay, we're going to try this one. Lucid was up a little more than 8.25%. It did not give any of that back in the after hours market. That's a good sign. Lucid Group is actually up 24% in the past year. You can see last year around this time, the stock basically parabolic, went up in a straight line all the way up to that February 18th date. Once again, that date seemed to hurt one of these companies, and that price was $58 a share. So the next 3 weeks, you want to keep an eye on Lucid Group. Can it break that $58 a share that we hit around last year, around this time, February 19th, February 18th? And if you're a long-term investor in Lucid, the past 5 years, this stock is actually up 186%. Right? Yep. But it does not pay a dividend. Does not pay a dividend. Next stock for the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol JD. JD was up a little more than 7%, gave a little more than 0.25% back in the after hours market. JD.com is actually down 17%. If you're looking for the highs in this stock, that happened around last year, February 17th. It's kind of crazy that we in this series, video series today, we had basically two highs in stocks last year. We either had highs in February of last year or we had November of last year. If you were high in February of last year, you basically sold off, and if you were high, basically you sold off the entire year. So you want to keep an eye on this February month, stocks that break that all-time high, that can keep it. But if they can't keep it, they seem like they're going to sell off. And the entire market sold off last November, so those stocks are just normal. But the highs in the stock was February 17th, so you want to keep an eye on that date. The next 3 weeks in this stock, that price was $106. It currently trades at $74. And for the past 5 years, if you were a shareholder, a long-term investor, this stock has rewarded you 165.10% in the past 5 years. So a pretty strong bull market chart for this stock. But JD.com does not pay a dividend. And the last stock we are gonna go over for the best performing stocks in the NASDAQ 100 is ticker symbol AMD. As you can see, AMD went parabolic, up 8.56% today, and it was still buying. People could not buy enough of this stock today. This is a great sign. Plus 1.18% in the after hours market. Crazy bull sign for AMD. AMD is plus 33% for the year. The NASDAQ 100 was up maybe 5% last year. NASDAQ 100 wasn't the best performing index last year. But it was positive. But AMD is clearly outperforming the NASDAQ 100 and outperforming the NASDAQ 100 index. And for the past 5 years, AMD is almost up 1,000 points, 989.54% for the past 5 years. We are in earnings season. I believe AMD will be releasing earnings soon. Let's keep an eye on that. Available tomorrow after hours. Wow, okay. Wow. So that's going to be interesting. Please keep an eye on AMD. That's going to be, you can see today people bought it over 9%. Is that a good sign? Does someone know something, right, to buy this stock almost over 9% today, right before earnings? That's clearly a bullish sign. They did not sell it off before earnings, so you want to keep an eye on this stock today. At least tomorrow, we don't know how much it's gonna sell during the day, but in the after hours market, AMD will be releasing earnings. So if we come back tomorrow with this series and we're up another 10% in earnings, we're up in another 10% tomorrow, it will be because of earnings. But if we sell off 10%, it will be because of maybe today's move, right? Who knows? So yeah, those were the top 5 performance stock in the NASDAQ 100. As I mentioned, the NASDAQ 100 was plus 469 points, currently trading at a 14,239 points. Obviously, we got above 14,000 points today. That's a good sign. We want to keep an eye on those 239 points. If we could stay above 14,000, we could be talking about a 15,000 handle on the NASDAQ 100. I'm Jason Robinhood. Did you discover any new stocks in this video? Do you have any great performing stocks in your portfolio you would like to recommend to myself or the other viewers of this video? I'm Jason Robinhood. These were the stocks of the day for Monday, January 31st, 2022. Stay long in the stock market.